Welcome to Let's Talk Jonesboro, and today our subject matter is human trafficking, and we are graced to have with us Megan Brown, who is the Executive Director of Hope Found. Megan, thank you for joining us, and please tell us about your organization, how and why it was created.
Okay, so in 2018, myself and three other women in Jonesboro, Audra King, Mary Sellers, and Miranda Ballard, came together because there were three cases that happened in Northeast Arkansas where human trafficking was going on. And we recognized that there was a need for awareness, especially among young people, of the education of human trafficking so they can protect themselves from it happening too. And we decided to start a nonprofit from there. And so Hope Found officially became a nonprofit in 2019.
Very nice. And as we exist in Human Trafficking Awareness Month, this is something that needs new awareness. So can you tell me a little bit about what human trafficking really is? Because we think of it as robbing a kidney and shipping someone off to a foreign country or something. But
yes.
What is it in
So
Jonesboro?
human trafficking is probably not what you think it is. It's not what you see in the movies or on TV. Essentially, it is the buying and selling of people. It's exploiting someone, taking advantage of them for either their work, which is where you'll see labor trafficking, or taking advantage of them through the commercial sex industry, which is where you'll see sex trafficking. So imagine a child growing up in a home with parents addicted to drugs, and when they need a fix and they don't have the money, they force their child to have sex acts in order to get money for drugs or to get drugs. Or imagine if you have a child, or maybe it's somebody you know, that meets somebody and gets into a romantic relationship where they think everything is going great, and then maybe after 6 months this person's true colors show, and they now say, hey, you know, in order to make money for us, I need you to have sex for money. And so those are types of those are really true experiences of those clients that we have served in the past.
You know, and that is difficult for a lot of us to believe or understand that it happens in Jonesboro. But one thing we have learned at the city government is that if it can happen anywhere, it can happen here. And we're not, you know, we wish we were a little Mayberry, but what Mayberry didn't tell us is they had these problems too. And tell us about what you guys have done, maybe even with the police department or FBI or any police agencies.
Yes, so we have really good partnerships with local law enforcement and also state and federal law enforcement. So we are one of their resources for if they encounter or recover a victim of trafficking, they can refer them to our program to help provide services to them. We also provide training to law enforcement. We do have a upcoming human trafficking training for law enforcement in March. It's a partnership with Arkansas State Police and Arkansas Children's Advocacy Centers, and it's in West Memphis, and it's the week of spring break for our schools, so whatever those dates are.
Now tell us, you know, this is, through the years we come up with, we have to break through these cultural taboos, and to get into someone's home, like you said, if someone is forcing a spouse to have sex to pay the bills, it's the same as being a pimp. How do we break through our lens of viewing these situations? Because if you know somebody is doing that, you think, oh, that's so horrible, you don't want to speak about it. You don't, you know, you may gossip, but what do people need to do? How can people keep their eyes out for this?
Right, so human trafficking, it's a crime that is hidden in plain sight, but it sometimes can be really hard to recognize if you don't really have a relationship kind of with that person. So, you know, a victim of human trafficking is not always chained up and held captive somewhere, like most people tend to think. So they could be going to school with your child, they could be your cashier at the grocery store, you could even be working with them, you know, in your everyday job setting. And so traffickers prey on vulnerable populations, so they're looking for people with vulnerabilities, which of course is our children. but it could be the homeless population. It could be those that have problems with drug addiction. And so just really trying to build relationships with those vulnerable people so that you can learn about their situation, because most of the time they're not going to disclose to you like that. Sometimes they don't know they're a victim of trafficking, but if you are that trusted and safe person for them, then they're more likely to disclose about kind of the abuse and what may be going on behind the scenes. But yeah.
And not as a way to get revenge on a neighbor who didn't mow his grass, but what do people, when they see something, what should they do?
So if they do suspect that somebody may be in a human trafficking situation, which, you know, if somebody, it's like if there's a really controlling person that you involved in their life, controlling where they go and what they do. If you notice that there's been a change in a person's behavior, their school attendance, their interest, their mental health has changed, you know, that's a red flag that some kind of trauma is going on in their life. Could be trafficking, but could be something else. If you know anything about the person's job situation, like you know that maybe their boss threatens them with deportation, or if you know that their boss threatens to harm them or harm someone else if they don't work there, that would be a red flag. If you recognize there's certain tattoos that are associated with trafficking, so if you see a tattoo on someone, maybe that has to do with money, or it might say property of, or daddy's, or I don't know if you can say that or not, but
it's real.
So those are some common tattoos, and so like if you saw that, you know, it could be trafficking, but you do want to report it to law enforcement if you think something could be going on. You can always reach out to us though as well, so we can maybe give you some more questions that you can ask.
And that's why this organization is so important, because unless you're really close to someone, it's hard to talk about that, to address it with the person who's being trafficked, or heaven forbid the person
right. Yeah,
requiring that.
It's more all about context and proximity when it comes to identifying human trafficking. That's why majority of the time, the reason why a person got into a trafficking situation is because some kind of a relationship was formed, whether it was a romantic relationship or a familial relationship or a professional relationship. And so usually in order to get them out of those situations, it's going to take a positive relationship,
right,
and in order to help pull them out of that. And so that's what we want to be for those.
That's great. And Megan, tell us what people need to do. How can they help? Is there fundraisers? What type of ways can people contribute to your cause?
Yes, so of course we're always in need of funding. Right now there's only 2 staff, and just between the 2 of us, you know, we for sure need another person to help be able to do more and be able to serve more of the people that are out there. And so of course we have fundraisers that are each year. We have one in the spring and then one in the fall. Of course, we're looking for people to donate monthly to our program. We're looking for people to donate gift cards, whether it's food gift cards or like gift cards to grocery stores, because that helps us to buy food for our clients, buy them gas, you know, take them to get something to eat or a snack when we're meeting with them. And we also have some volunteer opportunities as well. We have a clothing closet and a supply closet. We'll sometimes need help organizing that. And if somebody is really passionate about, you know, educating the community, I'll always take some help.
Wonderful. And is there a number they should call?
Yes. So we do have a helpline, and it's let me pull it up, 877-688-HOPE, which is 4673.
Very nice, very nice. She's Megan Brown. She is the executive director and a founder.
Yes, sir.
Of Hope Found, which is doing great nonprofit work for people that we probably don't know or are being trafficked or used by others to not their own best interest. And Megan, thank you so much for taking time to visit with us on Let's Talk today.
Yes, thank you so much.